Pythagorean theorem. This relates three sides of a right triangle. So we have to have a right triangle. When I say right triangle, that means that this is 90 degrees right here. We use a little box to denote that's 90 degrees. So we always, to be consistent, label the sides A and B. And then this is called the hypotenuse. We always label that as C. So the hypotenuse is always the one across from 90 degrees, which means that it's always the longest, because these two angles would have to add up to 90. So they'd have to be, if they add up to 90, they'd have to be less than 90. So A, B, and C. So what relates them is that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So this would always be true. This side squared plus this side squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So let's say I have a triangle. Just move this in like that. Let's say I've got the two sides being 7 and 12, and I want to know the hypotenuse. I'll put an X there. So that means 7 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. And you could work this out, 49, 144, go step by step. But to get rid of the squared, I'm going to do the square root. You could do this all in one step in your calculator, most likely. You might have to put in a parenthesis, but usually when you start a square root, most calculators, it'll put the parenthesis in there for you. So 7 squared plus 12 squared. And since this is usually used in application, we're just going to round to the nearest. We'll go to the nearest tenth of a, let's say this is a foot, tenth of a foot, 13.9 feet. So that would be the length of the hypotenuse. Okay, let's do one more. About, not like this time. My hypotenuse is 24, and one of my sides, or sometimes it's called a leg, is 15. So now I've got 15 squared plus the B, the other side. One of the sides is what I don't know. So 15 squared plus x squared equals 24 squared. And again, I could work out 15 to make it quicker, just doing it all in my calculator in one step. I'd probably subtract the 15 squared over and then do the square root to get rid of that squared. So whether you work it out with a couple steps calculating it, or just put in like this, square root of 24 squared minus 15 squared. So I am getting 18.7 to the nearest tenth. And that seems reasonable. Remember, the hypotenuse has to be the longest, so it has to be less than 24. And that looks good.